because he was also gold medalist at the World Boxing World Championships 3 months ago. He was also Olympic champion in Paris. He was also world champion with the IBA in Tashkent. Won a mere silver medal at the Asian Championships in 2022. I am, of course, being slightly facetious there. And he's had 3 wins so far. Rashid Williams, Armen Masikarian, and then he produced a good performance against Sanatali Tolkayev of Kazakhstan to get through in the quarterfinals.
Alexandru, PARASCHIV.
I've seen some good performances from Moldovan fighters in this competition so far. He's got good experience, PARASCHIV. A silver medal at the Euros in 2024. He's been in this system, this elite level system, for a long time. He went to World Juniors, World Youths, under 22s. This is his 3rd World Championship, and he produced a thunderous knockout in his previous fight against Bob Temba of Uganda. Left cross, right hook. The left cross just kind of stood him up slightly, and the right hook came sliding in, and down he went. And also wins against Praveen Kumar and Jandos Ashkar.
Your officials at ringside for Algeria, Sri Lanka, Iraq, Azerbaijan and Russia.
Well, this is a good example of what we were talking about a few minutes ago. PARASCHIV, as I said, has been in the system for a good long time. What he cannot be here is intoxicated by the aura of MUYDINKHUJAEV. This is your shot, this is your opportunity. You've got to go out from the first bell with a plan, try and execute that plan, and go into this fight meaning and expecting. That's the difference. You come in expectation, not in hope that you can get this done. He's in the blue, MUYDINKHUJAEV in the red. Goes down to the body and scores with that right hand and knocks him down right at the start of the fight. What a start from PARASCHIV. Left hand to the body, and then as MUYDINKHUJAEV was moving off to his left, he set his feet, delivered the right hook, and down he went. And that is the start I was talking about. That is what you have got to do against guys like this. Now, can he build on that? MUYDINKHUJAEV didn't look really hurt. He was hit hard enough to rock him onto his heels and then further back onto his back, but he looked pretty solid when he got back up. But that's an excellent start for PARASCHIV. What he can't do is go too gung-ho now, though. He's got to just try and control things. It's controlled aggression. You don't want to let the adrenaline flood the system and completely take over, but at the same time there is an opportunity here. Carries those gloves quite low, PARASCHIV. MUYDINKHUJAEV maybe just a little bit wary. He was moving onto the shot, and that was why it kind of doubled the impact. PARASCHIV trying to get that jab going if he can. Little feint with the front foot. MUYDINKHUJAEV seeing if he can find his range with his own jabs. Not quite yet. He's got that long reach. They swap lead hands there. PARASCHIV throws that left cross, right hook, and he wasn't far away with it. Past the midway stage of round 1. Jab to the body there from MUYDINKHUJAEV. Just a little stutter step in with the feet there from PARASCHIV. Jab from the man in red did land that time, and he will keep throwing it. But a right hand into the body, and PARASCHIV then just has to try and climb on top of MUYDINKHUJAEV if he can inside the final minute of this first round. And what a start we had. Just dipping his knee, stooping in and taking that right to the body there, MUYDINKHUJAEV, who was recovered pretty well from the knockdown. As I say, you could tell by the way that he went down and also got back up that he wasn't really hurt. He's not seemed to be boxing out of any kind of a fog since then. And PARASCHIV has been nice and controlled, he's been nice and disciplined, he hasn't gone crazy. He knows, fighters know when they look at their opponent what kind of state they're in, but he'll know that that was a major move. It will have given him confidence, and it will have made his opponent think as well. Final few seconds of round 1, PARASCHIV just trying to double up on the jab. I don't think either one of them really got there. Reaching with the left hand a little bit to the body. MUYDINKHUJAEV misses with the combo. What a start.
An absolutely sensational start. Implementing and carrying out exactly what you described he had to. Because he's a good operator Paraschiv, the tournament #4 seed, plenty of experience under his belt. This man's resume, with all those global successes under his belt, this knockdown brings to mind, it's a different type of knockdown, but the fact that a knockdown was scored brings to mind the World Championships we did in 2015, when Josh Buatsi, who was not yet an Olympic bronze medalist, was able to floor the man who was in his complete pomp at that point, Julio Cesar La Cruz. Going in as a two-time defending champion, Josh Buatsi scored the shot and sent the great man over to the canvas. But like all great champions do, he got back up, he kept his composure and was able to see the contest over the line. But it's good to see Paraschiv take the opening round, because as we have been at pains to point out, in IBA boxing, it won't automatically result in a 10-8 round, as is a convention in the pro ranks. But Paraschiv deservedly taking the opening 3 minutes.
And when you see the replays of that punch there, that is a proper solid shot, because he was opening out to throw his own there, MUYDINKHUJAEV, and he got clobbered. But as I said, as he clattered into the ropes, he put his right arm out, so he knew what was happening, he knew what was going on, but it certainly more than got his attention. And Paraschiv now has got to try and build on this. MUYDINKHUJAEV has come out quick and snappy at the start of round 2, because he will strongly suspect that he didn't win that opening round, and he needs to take this second, or he's got an awful lot to do in the third. It's a good comparison, that, between this and the Buatsi La Cruz fight, because Buatsi tries, he might, just couldn't quite make it count. Good jab there from MUYDINKHUJAEV. Paraschiv, let's go with a lead right hook. That's a neat combo there from MUYDINKHUJAEV. There's a much greater sense of urgency about him in this second round. I don't think in the first he was looking to get through after the knockdown, but I think he would have realised that he's probably going to lose that round at that point, and there's no real sense in going too crazy. You drop it 10-9, it's not the end of the world. You've still got 2 more rounds to go. That's a decent bit of work on the inside there from Paraschiv. Good jab from MUYDINKHUJAEV. He looks for the 1-2. I think the gloves were up there mainly from Paraschiv. But he's nice and sharp this second round, the fighter in red, and he's just beginning to dictate terms here as we head in towards the final minute. Bit of reddening of the nose of Paraschiv, courtesy of that jab hand, I think, of MUYDINKHUJAEV. 1-2. Landed as he took those feet in. And this is the kind of rhythm that we were talking about previously, that these kinds of fighters can get into, and the opponent becomes somewhat hypnotized by it at times, and all of a sudden, as we said before, they're just thinking about what the opponent is doing and not able to think too much about what they need to do. He's trying to get some punches away here, Paraschiv, but MUYDINKHUJAEV has replied in the way that he absolutely had to after the first round that he's had. And there's the jab again. And if he closes out this round, he's going to take this round, MUYDINKHUJAEV. And strangely enough, despite the start that he had going into that third and final round, it'll be him who has the momentum, who has the wind in his sails. Good response.
What a response, my goodness, remaining exclusively as a southpaw. And again, got that short-term amnesia that serves all athletes well, because it's as though the first round knockdown never happened. He came out and set up everything behind the jab. And for a boxer as experienced and capable as Paraschiv, at some point he was almost running forward trying to get his punches away. But non-stop movement, wonderful variety on the lead right hand, jabs up to the head, thrusting stab jabs to the body. I thought that was a sensational response from the man in red. And Paraschiv, well, that knockdown must seem an awful long time ago here now. And rather counterintuitively, even though Paraschiv scored the knockdown, remember, IBA scoring, 10-9 for a close round, 10-8 for a close winner. 10-8 for a clear win, a 10-7 for total domination. I just wondered whether we were going to see a 10-8 round, but it's 10-9 across the board.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking the same thing, because that was a clear round win. I don't think there's any question about it, but we're set up at 19 points apiece on all 5 cards, which is exactly what you want in a semi-final. So it's all for the taking here, and Paraschiv has just got to go with MUYDINKHUJAEV. He cannot let him dictate, he cannot let him outwork him, he's got to go with him, because if he doesn't, then he's going to lose this round, and he's going to look back on this as a missed opportunity. Knocking somebody like this down after 15-20 seconds guarantees absolutely nothing. Everybody boxing at this kind of level knows that, but it is still one hell of a start. Left hand into the body, followed by right hand up top there from MUYDINKHUJAEV, and he's just moving around that target so fluidly. The referee just having a quick word about one straying a little bit low, possibly. And Paraschiv just trying to pump out that lead hand, trying to fade with that front foot a little bit. But that jab just flicks up from the waist there of MUYDINKHUJAEV, and there's that straight left hand as well. And he's picked up at the start of this third where he left off at the end of the second. Just wheels away, lifting that back leg off the floor as he spins around that front foot. And again, just pops the jab. Paraschiv trying to reply with a left hand, but this is difficult for him, because this is a man with a pretty exceptional skill set. He had to pick himself up off the floor, and that's not something he'll have experienced all that many times. But that response in the second round and the way that he's boxing in this third round is just showing everybody the kind of class and the quality that he's got. Again, that lead hand just managed to slide through the guard and find the target. Paraschiv stepping in, trying to step in and just let his hands go there. The referee separates the pair of them into the final minute. Jab to the body again there from MUYDINKHUJAEV. Continuing southpaw. Standing almost on the borderline of range there, just seeing if Paraschiv fancied leading off first. And I feel for the Moldovan a bit here, to be honest, because what a fantastic start he made. He gave himself every chance, but having won that first round 10-9, what MUYDINKHUJAEV has done in the second and third is just take it away from him, basically. And he's made it look quite easy, and I don't mean that as any shade towards Paraschiv, because he's in with an exceptional fighter here, but it's almost like he started a little bit slow. Maybe he wasn't quite at the races. He gathered himself for the rest of the round, and then in the second and the third round, he just thought, right, okay, normal service resume now, clicked up a few gears, and he's won the fight.
And he's won it very impressively. It's a 3-round contest, but effectively, as we see IBA President Mr. Umar Kremlov enjoying the proceedings up in the stands here at the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Stadium. But in a 3-round contest, it was almost a fight that could be split into 2, because there was the first round and then there was everything else. Because the first round was entirely different, as you just described, from what transpired in rounds 2 and 3. MUYDINKHUJAEV, I don't know whether it was a reset or a refresh, but he came out in the second round and he was a completely different boxer. Perhaps conceded the opening round, as you suggested, once he had suffered that knockdown. But thereafter, my goodness, he was treated to the full repertoire of his wide range of skills. The variance he was able to put on that lead right hand served him very well indeed. Much credit to the start from Paraschiv, but it's the man in red going through.
We go to the judges' scorecards. For your winner by unanimous decision and advance into the final. In the red corner from Uzbekistan, Asadkhuja, MUYDINKHUJAEV.
And he takes it, as we expected he would, by 2-1. Lost the first round, then won rounds 2 and 3. A little bit of a rueful look on the face there of Paraschiv. He's had a very good tournament. Has that bronze medal hung around his neck, and he'll pick up that check for $75,000 US. And as we've been saying, that's split 50% for the athlete, 25% for the coach, 25% for the federation or organisation. and a few pictures to put up on the wall. And it's been a good few days work for him. Elite level sport can be pretty cruel though, because as we say in boxing, we talk about levels a lot. And there was a level or two between those two actually, as it turned out, as we suspected there might be, as past history and resumes suggested that there would be. That having been put hard down at the start of that first round, he recovered so well. The composure was just so good. There was no hint of any kind of panic there, quite the opposite. And you can see the pride he takes in the win, and we will be seeing him again